All right, everybody, want to come on in. I know you all are making your move toward initiating the connection. I'll give you 1 second or two or three or four. We're going to get started. As I stated, my sessions will be increasingly um, not as extensive in the past. So, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that. So if you come on late, you're probably going to miss my introduction, but you can watch it, obviously, as you review the lesson. I will forego the normal greetings and what have you. I'll say hello to everybody, good morning, and certainly Happy New Year to you. Well, the theme for this particular session is Start Today. I mentioned Monday morning, Start Today, and I talked about be the best version of yourself. Start today, and listen to me. Today is the day, all right? I promise you this. If you fail to take the necessary steps to bring about change and transformation in whatever area of life, quite frankly, you should be embarking upon all areas for that matter. But if you failed and neglect to, and that's myself likewise, to understand today and what is necessary today, if the Lord should bless you to see the end of 2023, you will be frustrated. You're going to be mad at yourself because another year has passed. And if you've made declarations and resolutions and all that wonderful stuff that people do in the beginning of the year, unfortunately, the activity or the work ethics don't connect with what they've declared. So let me give you another point today. The second thing to start today, listen to this, is stop being a people pleaser. Punctuated today. Now that's a progression of understanding of what does that mean in terms of in reality and actual steps toward this. But I want to share something. I read an article this morning from Psychology Today, and interesting article as I penned and wrote my note, stop being a people pleaser. Let me do my research, okay? So first, Merriam-Webster defines people pleaser as a person who has an emotional need to please others, often at the expense of his or her own needs or desires. That's a word right there. Let me read it to you again. Webster defines people pleasers as a person who has an emotional need to please others, often at the expense of his or her own needs or desires. So the article states those who fall into the trap of people pleasing tend to dive too deeply into the spirit of being in tune with others' needs. And let me say, this could be your children. It could be a spouse. It could be a coworker. It could be a business partner. Again, let's go. Somewhere along the way, the people pleaser decide that everyone else's needs are more pressing than their own. They put themselves on the back burner in their own lives and then end up feeling resentful, dissatisfied, and depressed. Wow. So, thoughts, questions. Do I care deeply about this task? These are questions you ask yourself. Am I honoring someone or something I love by saying yes? Am I feeling pressure to say yes because of fear of angering or upsetting someone? Been there. Are there others who can do this besides me? Do I have time to do it? You might not have time, all right? Do I have an interest in doing this? You might not want to do it. Do I have the energy for it? Will I end up resenting myself or someone else if I take on this task right now? As people pleasers strive to push through these feelings to self advocate, there are some affirmations that can be helpful reminders. My needs are as important as anyone else's. I care about myself enough to speak up about what is best for me. Other people benefit from me being open about my needs. Sometimes you gotta just talk, gotta share. You'd be you'd be surprised how it might benefit someone by being authentically open and true. I can ask for help and deserve to get my needs met. Am I am not being selfish when I self-advocate. I am expressing my humanness. It's not good to ball up stuff, been there, done that, you all, and you're trying to keep peace. And here's the problem that I've discovered in relationships. Hear me today. When your needs are not being met, there are times you dial down the desire for your needs to be met, rather. And in that dialing down, you lower your expectation. Hear me today. And unfortunately, what happens when you lower your expectation, often you lose hope in the relationship, particularly as it relates to getting what you want. So you're just there, you're just showing up, you're just doing, but you become numb because your needs not being met. Here's the problem. Here's the deal. Because you dial down. You dial it down. You get frustrated, you lose hope. Listen to me. I'm telling you what I know. All right. So you got to understand something here. You gotta be human. People sometimes put the weight and the load on preachers and pastors and Christians, and particularly pastors, and want us to be these superhuman. We're not superhuman in the sense of our own strength. It's the strength of the Lord. Pastors are human. Your pastor's human. He's a man. He's a woman. She's a woman, brother. They're human. Christians are human. Sometimes folk in the workplace and say you're supposed to be a Christian. Well, he or she is a Christian, but they're still human. And if you're human, you have human frailties. All right. I close with this thought. And this is Galatians 1 and 8. Paul says, obviously, I am not trying to win the approval of people, but of God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. Don't be a people pleaser in 2023. Be strong enough, have the courage to speak up for you. If you don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. People call on me all the time to do this, that, and the other. It's like, you can't clone me. I'm only one. I'm one person. All right. And so at some point in life, you got to recognize when you've been guilty, and I have been guilty of being a people pleaser. But in this season, I got to look out for me now. Real talk with the bishop. Y'all be blessed. I told you this is going to be short, to the point. So you need to get on here on time, get it, and let's go. Be blessed.